problem is that it kind of bent the bracket. Backrest is too close to the butt rest. I have to completely cut up my beautifully made seat piece.
Let's talk about at-home leg workouts that you can do at home. If you're working out at home, it's likely you have a squat rack, a barbell, and some weights to put on that barbell. While these are the most essential pieces to any home gym, having only this equipment can be quite limiting, especially compared to a real gym. Specifically, it's limiting for one body part, the legs. An at-home leg workout consists mainly of one thing, squatting. Beyond the regular squat, you don't have many other options. The front squat, the lunge with different varieties, the Romanian deadlift and calf raises are your only worthwhile options. There's nothing to specifically work your quadriceps. That's why I have poured countless hours of time, effort, and patience to bring you, or myself really, a workout apparatus that will isolate the quadricep and allow you to impress all of your bros that you don't really see anymore with plump teardrop thing.
Kill me! More! Come on, up! Squeeze it! Come on, up! Squeeze!
After months of scouring the popular internet for sale pages, I finally found what I was looking for.
The diamond in the rough.
Weight stacks. Recently, I've been looking for one thing, and that thing is usable weight stacks. I could care less about the machine surrounding the stack, as long as the stack itself is in good condition. And oh boy did I find a good listing. 8 cast iron weight stacks in the form of 4 vintage machines totaling 1,700 pounds of weight for $500. If you were to buy 1,700 pounds of new weight stacks, it would cost between $5,000 and $7,000, and that's not even considering shipping, so this was a great deal. And it also brought this Paramount Fitness abdominal machine into my life.
Hey y'all, how you doing?
Whilst looking at this machine, I couldn't help but think one thing. This really has everything it needs to be converted into a leg extension machine. It has an axle with a cam and a weight stack with a frame. So that's exactly what I did. I converted it into a leg extension machine. But before I could do any conversion, I had to first disassemble this abdominal machine.
So that's what I'm gonna do right now. You're gonna watch me take this shit apart, and we're gonna check out and see what things we have to build a leg extension machine. I'm going to be taking this off.
With these parts freed from their old homes, I could begin my design process for a new machine. My design basically has 5 main pieces that need to be constructed and can be constructed sort of separately. I call this the frame piece. This piece consists of this big U-shaped bent piece of 2x3. Also, it features the weight stack from that abdominal machine and some pulley brackets that mount the pulleys in the correct places that will need to be welded on. Next is what I call the left piece, which is this piece right here. And it essentially is just a bunch of square tubing in random places until you add the right piece, which is the next piece that has to come and will be built. You'll see why it's like this here in a second. Next, we'll add the pivot piece. This is the pivot piece. It features the big 16-inch pulley that I took off that abdominal machine, which I believe is called the cam in weightlifting machine equipment terminology. And basically what the cam does is it changes the resistance path of the cable and makes it more appropriate for the given exercise. In this case, it's the leg extension. For that reason, the cam is mounted not in the center, but in sort of an obscure place. That way, when it rotates, it doesn't rotate perfectly around. And then finally, we can add the seat piece. This is the seat piece. Features an adjustable back pad for the length of your legs, so that if you're a tall guy or a short guy, the machine will still work for you. And it mounts onto the other pieces. It's pretty complex because, so this piece, the axle needs to be mounted in two separate locations, so here and here. And then these locations also need to be supported in a bottom location and then a sort of higher location so it's strong. So that's why I have this one is supported here and then with this piece. And then this one is supported here and then this piece, which then connects to the frame. So everything is going to be very supported and very sturdy. I also wanted to quickly show you guys the plans that I made up for this design. I've never made such detailed plans, and let me tell you, it really helps having very detailed plans available to you as you're creating something, so you don't have to really figure stuff out. You can just, it's a quick glance at your plans, and you know exactly where where you need to put that hole or where you need to weld that, whatever. Obviously, because I can't be looking at the computer when I'm building the machine in the shop. So I have a bunch of different angles that I can view the machine at, so I know exactly what it looks like and if I'm really doing it right. So these are the full machine plan. And then I also have plans for all the different pieces, the different sections of the whole design, all 5 of them, with all the dimensions and everything. So I can look at the dimensions and where everything is going to end up. Here's the left piece, the pivot piece, the right piece, and then the seat piece. So I have all these plans available to me while I'm building this machine, and that has so far helped out a lot, and I really recommend it for anybody that's building something. It could be of your own design or somebody else's, but you just want to have some plans available to you as you're building. Potentially print these off or have them on your phone so you could look at them. The first thing to do was to get these steel plates cleaned up and put on the CNC plasma table so I can cut out all of the flat parts that I'll need to build the entire machine. Luckily, I had my friend Jordan at the shop with me to help maneuver this big half-inch plate, which by my calculations weighs over 200 pounds. This leg extension machine has 5 different sections that will all bolt together, so I had to make a lot of brackets for the bolts out of this plate steel. Even though I could have just had the CNC plasma table cut out these holes in the brackets, it actually creates such a gnarly bevel on the inside of the hole that it's much better to just drill them out, even though it takes much longer. After prepping all the flat parts for the entire machine, I also wanted to get the frame piece done before the end of the day. I had the CNC plasma table cut out this small piece of metal with the perfect angle so I could weld this pulley bracket at the right angle. Here are the remaining flat parts that will be welded on in the coming days. The next day did not start off well.
Fucker!
My goal on this day was to construct the left piece and the right piece simultaneously because they fit together kind of like a puzzle piece. Day 3 in the shop, and my goal is to build the seat piece and the pivot piece. Hey guys, so I have returned back home from the shop after welding my leg extension machine, and I want to show you one of the issues that I am having. So this right here is the backrest, and the problem that I'm having is I welded these brackets on the back side here, which I do think is the best joint to weld these on, because you have two options. You have this side or you have this side, and you know, this side has a lot more lip, so I decided to weld it on this side. But the problem is that it kind of bent the bracket. I don't know if you can see that, but the bracket is bent this way, bent to the right here, and if I put a piece of wood on top of this, there's going to be a little gap on each side right here, and once I put the bolt through the hole, it'll actually pull the T-nut back out of the piece of wood, and I'll show you that later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit those with a torch and try to bend them straight. Maybe I'll use a hammer, maybe I'll use some vice grips. I'm not exactly sure, but that's my plan, so that's what I'm going to do. I made the seat in the backrest out of some higher quality 3/4 inch plywood. Put some T-nuts in to receive the bolts and to attach the seat to the metal brackets on the machine. The foam I recommend using for gym equipment is at least 1 inch thick Rebond foam. This type of foam can be more expensive than the standard upholstery foam you'd find at the fabric store, but it's much stiffer and gives the cushion that stiff gym pad feeling. It's very essential. Luckily, my mom is great at sewing, so she helped me make these fake leather covers. I think they turned out great. Thanks, Mom! So I kind of have a big problem. The main problem is that I have no reference when I'm designing these machines on the computer, so I don't know exactly how big to make any of these things until I actually make them. And one thing that I did wrong with the seat piece is that the backrest is too close to the butt rest. So when you sit on it, the pivot does not line up with your knee pivot. So what I have to do is I have to move the backrest further back. That way when you sit on it, your body slides further back and your knee can line up with the pivot. So I have to completely cut up my beautifully made seat piece, make this piece about 4, maybe 3 inches longer. And I'm a little bit upset about that. I spray painted the machine a mixture of red and black, of course starting with a coat of primer. I cleaned up the old weight stack that came with the Paramount Fitness abdominal machine, and then hit it with a light coat of black spray paint. It looks almost brand new. This machine is finally completed. It's taken a lot longer than I thought it would have to build, and I'm very excited that it's finally done. Let me show you how it works. You just sit right down in here. You can adjust the weight easily right from the seat, and you just do the leg extension. It's got a 200-pound stack. Come on! And you can adjust this part right here. This part is adjustable. You can also adjust the back pad. So guys, that is the whole video. I know this one is a bit obscure. I feel like a lot of people aren't going to be trying to be building a leg extension machine quite like this, but I hope that you guys watch it just because it's kind of interesting. It's sort of a unique thing. I don't think a lot of people have seen somebody construct an entire leg extension machine on the internet or before. So I hope that even if you don't build one of these yourself, this video is still kind of interesting for you. It was a lot of fun for me building this machine, and who knows what I'm gonna do with it. I might actually keep it, I might actually sell it, who knows? But if you did enjoy this video, thank you for enjoying it, and thank you for watching it. I really appreciate it. And if you could, please subscribe to the channel. That really helps me out a lot. I'm trying to be a big YouTuber.